Hi, welcome to Entertainment This Week. I'm so glad you're able to join me to find out all you need to know about your favorite celebrities. My guest today is the producer of this show. He was on a trip to Bahrain recently, and he will be coming on later to tell us about the fun stuff he did while in Bahrain. But first, let's take entertainment tidbits, and then you meet the face behind Entertainment This Week.
Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi has approved the full payment of $100,000 for the kidney transplant and treatment of musician OJB Jezreel. The news hit the social media this week as he celebrates his birthday on July 4. Hollywood superstar Kerry Washington has married Nigerian-born San Francisco 49ers cornerback Nnamdi Asomugha. Nnamdi is of Nigerian descent, born in Louisiana to parents of Igbo descent and raised in California. The extremely private pair reportedly said "I do" last week after starting to date last summer. This marriage will be the first for Washington, who hasn't been known to publicly speak about her personal life in recent years. She broke up with fiancé David Moscow in 2007 after several years together. Since then, she has kept a private life. The newlyweds are believed to have bonded over their shared love of philanthropy, as both are involved in former U.S. President Bill Clinton's NGO for Global Change. Talented makeup artist Adenike Ogungbe of Ewa Makeovers has died during childbirth. Reports say she gave birth early Tuesday morning, fell into a coma and died afterwards. Her baby girl is fine and healthy. She had been prominent in the Nigerian beauty and makeup industry for about a decade now, especially in the wedding industry. Her former colleagues describe her as pleasant, professional, and beautiful. May her soul rest in peace. Amen. American rapper 50 Cent has been charged with attacking his ex-girlfriend and trashing her home in Los Angeles. The 37-year-old musician and actor was charged with domestic violence and 4 counts of vandalism in papers filed this week. If convicted, he could spend up to 5 years in jail and face $46,000 in fines. Police say they were called to a home in Los Angeles where they found a woman and baby. Curtis Jackson had already left by the time they arrived. The woman told police the rapper began destroying her property during an argument before locking herself in the bedroom. She said Jackson kicked open the bedroom door and kicked her. Police estimate there was about $7,100 in damage to the woman's home. They said the rooms were ransacked and that they found clothes strewn about and items including chandeliers, furniture, and a television broken. The woman told police she had been in a relationship with Curtis Jackson for 3 years. A 5-year-old with an IQ 1 point behind Stephen Hawking has turned her genius to painting watercolor landscapes. Heidi Hankins, who was accepted into Mensa last year with an IQ of 159, picked up a paintbrush just 6 weeks ago, but according to her family from Winchester, the little girl, who could read and write at just 2 years old, has barely stopped creating beautiful landscapes ever since. Program leader of fine art at Winchester School of Art says for a 5-year-old, her works are remarkably mature and confident watercolor paintings. Her mother, an artist, is now considering an exhibition of her daughter's works.
I'm joined by Michael Salako, the face behind the camera, the voice that screams in my ears.
No, I don't scream. Come on, I don't scream. Well, I just urge you on. I just try to.
I don't really know whether to say welcome to the show that you have always been on and you're always producing, but welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And welcome back from Bahrain.
Thank you.
I'm sure there are lots of fun, entertaining things that happen.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's gist as usual.
Bring it on.
So, Ice Prince won Best International Act at the 2013 BET Awards. So,
Doing us proud.
yeah, did you watch it? I did.
Yeah, I did not watch the part where he came
won,
to.
but you watched
but I watched the pre-show
BET
and everything.
Awards.
It was really
It
exciting.
was really, it was really very interesting. There were a lot of nice, nice music presentations, and also a lot of stars were there. You know,
Yeah.
it's like all the black stars came and Justin Timberlake.
BT has always been like a favorite station for me. It's really representing, as in presenting the black American artists in
Yeah,
a
and
very
they
good
have
light.
a lot of Nigerian stars
Exactly.
also.
Yeah.
Which is really
And then
good.
they have shows, varieties, all night long.
Okay, now talking about homegrown celebrities, the Wizkid imposter that collected money pretending to be Wizkid. He's in.
His manager or something.
Has he been caught?
He's been caught. He's,
Oh, okay.
he's in police custody right now. It was a terrible experience for Wizkid because someone tried to misrepresent him to students of Unilag who were trying to organize a show, and the guy collected some money pretending that, okay, Wizkid will be there. Actually, the guy charges like 2 million. When I heard that, I'm like, So per show, he charges 2 million. But this guy comes up and says, I'll beat it down, 500K, give me 500K.
And they were like, they couldn't believe their luck.
And they paid. And the guy absconded. So when he was no show on the show, they invited the police. The police invited Wizkid over.
Invited or arrested?
Invited him. He's a star now. They have to give him some respect. So they invited him, interrogated him, and he let them know that he doesn't even charge that low. And they should go and get the guy that collected the money.
And so
So finally, they've caught up with the guy, and he's, I'm sure he will sing very soon.
That was it's so painful for, I really feel sorry for the students. I mean, all the posters, all the publicity,
Exactly.
and then nothing.
Poor students.
Really sad.
But they are not poor students, though. They have money now. Yeah.
Now, in this case, Wizkid was innocent, but
He was.
in Rick Ross's case, a jeweler is suing him for having absconded with over $90,000 worth of Rolexes. And this is like the boss. And I'm wondering, what is it that he couldn't pay for it, or what is the story behind this?
Rick Ross is too big for this kind of scandal.
Or he says he's too big. You know, lots of times these celebrities pretend to live, they have a larger-than-life personality, but in reality, they may not have two nickels to
I
rub
understand
together.
that they need to hype their personality, but you don't hype on emptiness. You hype on something that is real.
But he has to have some money.
$90,000 is not money that should embarrass Rick Ross. One album will take care of all that and give him change.
So it might
So what are
just
we
be
talking about?
negligence. Or...
Negligence. Maybe he just thought, oh, I could get away with not paying this guy. He can't come up to say anything. Or his handlers forgot to
handle
pay
that.
up.
And maybe he
I mean, they are supposed to be
had the
cleaning up
money.
after him. He's a
Yes.
star. He could get carried away.
If
He
his
could-
like personal assistant or his lawyer or something, his accountant had reminded him or let him know, but still he should be careful about
But the thing now is,
how he
he has not
spends.
come up to say anything. I mean,
Okay.
if it was a mistake, he could have just immediately come up to say, oh, look, I'll pay. I'll even give you anything you are charging
Or
extra.
he hasn't even
but it's already in
apologized.
court, and he has to answer.
They could have settled out of court, I
A
think.
star now, buy watches, pay
What are you
immediately.
doing? $90,000 worth
Rolex
of
now.
Rolex.
It's Rolex.
The
It's
Rolex is it
it's
one
not-
Rolex?
No, true.
Wow.
True. It's a lot of money now to wear a Rolex.
It's a lot of money. Now, another person who wants to really get back into the limelight is Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And this time he's going into music. This reggae song that he did with Snoop
Red
Lion.
Light.
That's also known as Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I still have to get used to that. That's Snoop Lion. So Red Light, he's doing this reggae song. Have you listened to it?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think about it?
Well, from listening to it, I thought, oh, I thought maybe I've heard this before. It sounds like a familiar song.
Familiar beat?
Yeah, the beat, reggae, of course. Reggae is always familiar, but what he was singing, the lyrics, sounded familiar. And I think Eddie Murphy as a personality, I see him doing 3 different things. He's a comedian, he's an actor, now he's trying to go into music or go back into music. But if I would pick any of these 3, I prefer Eddie Murphy as an actor.
Really?
I don't really like his stand-up comedy.
Well, I love it. I have so many of his shows.
Sometimes it's dry. My favorite stand-up comedian is either Chris Rock or Ellen DeGeneres. But Eddie Murphy, as an actor, perfect. Because he will bring in the humor, he'll bring in everything.
He acts well too.
Now, as a musician, I don't know.
You're not sure.
Let's wait for the second album. I don't think we can judge him on this one. Then reggae. Why reggae?
Yeah, that's like, I thought we'd do R&B or hip-hop or something.
I don't know.
And then he went into reggae.
And he's too old for that. Maybe he has started taking ganja and he wants to find an excuse.
Okay, now we'll take a very short break while we watch Bahraini cultural dancers entertaining guests from all around the world. Okay, now watching those dancers, Bahrain looks like a very colorful, country. Their outfits and the dancing and so. But I wasn't there. I'm just watching. So, could you tell me some more about your trip to Bahrain? Okay, what were the adventures you went on?
Well, let's start with this. Bahrain is a very small country. Bahrainis are less than 1 million. But when you add the other
Lagos?
people, that is, Lagos is like 3-5 million. So I can say the size of Lagos, but fewer people.
Okay.
So then when you add the tourists and other people in the land, you have just about over 1 million people.
Okay, so it's a huge tourist attraction center.
Right now, I think they're trying to drive their tourism industry, trying to bring people in. And they have a lot of exciting things. For example, I went to the museum, and it was breathtaking.
What did they have?
They tried to create the village life with statues.
Okay.
And they put them in the museum. And all the intricate details are there. You could see a family in their courtyard with chickens going around, with a cat prowling around.
A real chickens?
Not real.
Okay.
They are all like sculptures, and
okay.
it looks so real. When I went into the museum as a journalist, I was like, wow. And it took me time to come out of there because I had so much to take. So I was just busy clicking away and trying to record. It was like a steel frame from the villages. Yeah. I didn't get to go to the villages. I stayed in the city center. But what I was able to capture in the museum gave me an idea.
Villages would
exactly.
Look like.
And then also, I saw some stone carvings, very beautiful. Those ones were not even inside the museum. They put them in the courtyard.
Okay, these stone carvings, were they ancient stone carvings? Or?
I don't know. I'm not an artist. I can't analyze art. Maybe we'll consult creative platform. But they are so beautiful. I mean, I stood there. I took pictures. I tried to pose with the carvings, but people that were taking the pictures are not experts, so they couldn't really take good pictures.
What about the wild rides you went on?
Wow, the rides. I was on the rides of my life. There are different rides. The most amazing one was the Desert Storm.
What's that?
Like, you go into a 4x4 and someone takes you into the desert.
Okay.
It was crazy. It got to a point I dropped the camera. It got to a point my phone got missing. Because the 4x4 will be climbing a steep slope of like 85 degrees, 70 degrees down. It was wild. Then again, we went for the go-karts. For that one, I've only been seeing it on TV. Yeah. But this time around, they were talking about it and everybody was showing interest, and I was like, I would like to go there. But I went with sandals, and they were like, no, you have to wear a shoe. I bought a 20,000 naira shoe just to go on that ride because it's like missing a chance of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So I went on the ride. I didn't come first, but it was a ride of a lifetime. I was like speed racer. And then the camel ride.
Camel ride, yeah.
I've been on a camel before, and it was almost a disaster. But this one was even more disastrous. I was scared. I was panting all through.
But I thought camels, they're like really slow movers.
Slow movers, but a rough ride.
And is it true that they smell? And they spit?
Tell me about it.
Do they spit? I heard that they spit.
I didn't stand in front of the guy, but what I was seeing from the rear was not looking pleasant at all in any way.
So how was it a disaster?
And so
you fell off?
tall, I almost fell. I almost fell. Because when the camel is trying to get up, it's really bumpy. When it's trying to let you go off again, man. Then I entered the museum and I saw a lady on the piano. And she was playing so beautifully. And I'm like, I went to the curator. I said I would like to interview her. He said, oh, you cannot interview her, but you can take pictures, you can take video. So I took a shot, and it was so beautiful, seeing her delicate fingers, you know, playing on the piano. Everybody was excited about it.
I want to go to Bahrain.
You want to? And this trip really changed my view, and I'm sure will change the view of so many people about the Arab world. It's not all about rioting on the streets, changing government and everything. Bahrainese are warm people, warm and welcoming. I think they're like going out of their way to make you come back.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about you. You are a very versatile and resourceful TV producer. So how did you get to where you are now as a successful TV producer?
Successful? Well, I
Success comes
pray
in
I
stages.
get there. Yeah, it comes in stages.
So for
really.
this stage, you are successful.
Thank
you. Move to
you.
the next stage, the next level of success.
Yeah, well, first, I would like to thank God for where I am today. And I started as a journalist. And since I was in school, I never really loved or liked
The limelight?
the newspaper aspect of journalism.
Okay.
I've been in radio. It wasn't that exciting, maybe because I don't have the radio voice, whatever. But when I met TV, it was love at first sight. I was like, oh, good. And I embraced the behind-the-scenes roles more than the on-screen roles.
Why?
I don't know. I like organizing things.
You like being the one in control?
Not really in control,
Yes.
organizing. Wow. I find it easy to produce a program. Once I set my mind to it, I get it done. Because that is what I was trained to do.
Yeah, and now you can kind of, really design what you want.
Exactly. And I'm after producing unique programs that have an impact. Programs that could relate or compete with any other program from any other country.
Yeah.
On any broadcast station.
Excellence, yeah. After
I just think that we have gotten to a stage in the TV industry that we need to be projecting the Nigerian image in another light. Let's forget about politics. There are safe areas where you can project, where you can tell your story. Yeah. Entertainment industry is booming. It's doing so well. We have not exploited it enough.
Yeah, and
sports is doing so well.
You saying this kind of makes me want to, you kind of listen to the next question, which is, what's your take on the television broadcasting industry in Nigeria? Because you are talking about some certain sectors that have not been fully explored. So do you think that the broadcasting industry in Nigeria is doing enough in exploring these areas?
Well, I think for now, we're doing our best.
Tell us what you're working on right now.
Oh, right now, well, I'm working on this show, that is for sure. And then there's this concept we developed last year with NTA Entertainment. We're talking about Scream Masters, all the celebrities all the time, all the giz-giz, all the celebrities we see on different screens.
So what's going on with them?
On blogs or in sports. Once they're celebrities, they're on that show. Okay. And the show premiered last year on Independence Day and got very good reviews. But then, cash has not been flowing.
And it sounds very exciting.
I'm sure very soon
we can't wait to see it back on NTA Entertainment.
It will.
Okay. And then I also want to know, what plans do you have for your career in the next 10 years?
Next 10 years. By God's grace, I hope to have risen to a status whereby I'll be ranked amongst people like Tyler Perry and Ryan Seacrest. Yeah. Those are like my, I love those guys. Ryan Seacrest is on a show himself. He has so many
radio shows,
so many things.
So busy, and everything he touches seems to turn to gold.
Yes. Likewise, Tyler Perry is a mogul. You can't fault him. And he has developed a character in my dear that will last a lifetime.
Yeah,
I would like to be that person.
Maybe act like a woman, too.
I can't act like that. I'm sorry. That I cannot do.
So, Mr. Salako, it was nice having you in front of the camera.
Thank you.
This time.
I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed you, too.
Thank you.
At least I got to have a conversation and not, be talked.
I'm not that terrible.
Yes, it's true. So join me again next week for all you need to know about your favorite celebrities on NTA Entertainment. Bye.